Imagine standing at the edge of your dream life, a life brimming with success, joy, and peace. You can almost touch it, the career you love, the relationships that light you up, the freedom to live on your terms. But every time you reach for it, something pulls you back, like an invisible tether anchored in the past. You've tried everything, setting ambitious goals, thinking positive thoughts, working harder, staying optimistic. Yet, every morning, you wake up to a reality that feels like it's stuck on repeat, like a song you can't stop humming. What if the secret to breaking free isn't about pushing harder, but about becoming someone new? What if the universe isn't responding to what you want, but to who you are? This is the hidden truth of quantum creation, a truth so simple, yet so powerful. It can rewrite your entire story. Let's explore this truth through the journey of James, a man just like you, who learned to reshape his reality by transforming himself from the inside out. Meet James, a 36-year-old lawyer from Denver, Colorado. He's the kind of guy you'd call driven sharp, dedicated, with a fire in his belly for something bigger. James dreamed of a thriving law practice that made a difference, a loving family to share his adventures, and a life filled with purpose. Maybe even weekends hiking in the Rockies or sipping coffee in a cozy cabin. But for years, James felt like he was running in place. His caseload was a grind of low-paying clients. His relationships felt like small talk that never went deeper, and his confidence eroded with every 12-hour workday. He'd set goals, pin up vision boards, and repeat affirmations like, "I am prosperous," every morning in front of his bathroom mirror. "I'm doing all the right things," he'd mutter to himself, staring at his tired reflection. So why isn't it working? Does that sound familiar? James was chasing his dreams the way most of us do, from the outside in, unaware that the real transformation had to start within. Here's the first piece of the puzzle, the one that changed everything for James. The universe doesn't care about your desires or your to-do lists. It responds to your state of being. In quantum physics, there's a concept called the quantum field, a vast, invisible ocean of infinite possibilities where every version of your life already exists. Picture it like a cosmic library, with countless books on the shelves, the successful you, the joyful you, the deeply connected you. They're all there, written and waiting. But which story becomes your reality, the one you align with energetically? It's like tuning an old radio to your favorite station. You don't chase the signal. You turn the dial to match the frequency. James was stuck because he was trying to change his outer world, his clients, his social life, his bank account, while broadcasting an inner frequency of stress, scarcity, and self-doubt. It was like expecting a mirror to show a bright smile while he was still frowning. Let's walk through James's world to see this in action. Every morning, he'd wake up, grab his phone, and scroll through emails. A string of demanding client messages would hit him like a wave, and his stomach would tighten. "I'm not where I want to be," he'd think, slumping into his chair. That thought wasn't just a fleeting worry, it was an act of quantum observation. In quantum mechanics, observation collapses infinite possibilities into one reality. When James focused on not enough money, time, or progress, he was unconsciously selecting that version of his life, day after day. He didn't mean to. He wasn't trying to sabotage himself. But his emotions, his energetic signature, were like a signature on a cosmic contract, locking him into a familiar, frustrating reality. This is the hidden truth most of us miss. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So, how did James break free from this cycle? His story took a turn one rainy night after a grueling day in court. Exhausted, he collapsed onto his couch, scrolling aimlessly on his phone, when he stumbled across a YouTube video about quantum creation. The speaker's words stopped him cold. "Live in the state of the wish fulfilled," they said, quoting Neville Goddard. James hit pause, his heart racing. What does that even mean, he wondered, staring at the flickering screen. The idea was deceptively simple, but revolutionary to manifest his dream life. He had to feel as if it was already his, not hope for it, not wait for it, but embody it now. This wasn't about faking it or pasting on a smile. It was about stepping into the emotions, thoughts, and energy of the James who already lived that life, a James who was confident, fulfilled, and at peace. Let's make this real. James decided to try a small experiment, something he could fit into his hectic life. Every morning, before touching his phone or diving into the chaos of emails, he'd sit quietly for 5 minutes. He'd close his eyes and imagine himself as future James, a successful attorney with a thriving practice, a warm home filled with laughter, and a partner who shared his love for adventure. He didn't just picture the corner office or the weekend hikes in the Rockies. He felt them. He'd imagined the pride of winning a high-profile case, the joy of planning a trip to a mountain cabin, the comfort of holding hands with someone who got him. He'd let those feelings, pride, gratitude, love, flood his body, warming his chest, easing his breath. Why did this matter? Science has an answer. Your brain and body can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you feel gratitude for a future event as if it's already happened, you light up new neural pathways and flood your system with the chemistry of that reality: dopamine, oxytocin, the good stuff. You become a vibrational match for the life you're calling in. But here's where James's story gets deeper, and it's a game changer. The quantum field isn't just a passive stage where your life plays out. It's intelligent and holographic. Your emotional state doesn't just shape your future, it rewrites your relationship with the past and weaves synchronicities into the present. When James started embodying future James, subtle shifts began to ripple through his life. One day, a colleague casually recommended him for a lucrative case, the kind he'd always dreamed of handling. A friend invited him to a charity gala, where he met people who sparked new ideas. Even his mornings felt different, calmer, clearer, like the fog was lifting. These weren't random strokes of luck. They were the field responding to his new frequency. As Dr. Joe Dispenza explains, when your heart and mind align in coherence, when you feel grateful and intentional, your electromagnetic signal becomes powerful, like a lighthouse cutting through the dark. James was no longer a scattered signal, flickering with doubt. He was a beacon, steady and bright. Now, let's be real. James's journey wasn't a straight line. Transformation never is. There were days when old patterns crept back, like uninvited guests. He'd catch himself thinking, "This can't last." Or, "What if I'm not good enough?" Doubt would tighten his chest, and he'd wonder if he was kidding himself. This is where most people give up. They visualize their dreams, but feel anxiety or lack underneath, sending mixed signals to the field. The universe, being neutral like a mirror, reflects that confusion right back. James faced a choice: keep reacting to life as it was, or keep broadcasting life as it could be, even when it felt hard. He chose the latter, and here's how he made it stick. James leaned into what Abraham Hicks calls the art of allowing. Instead of obsessing over when a client would pay or whether a coffee date would lead to something more, he focused on feeling safe in his new reality. He'd ask himself, how would future James handle this moment if a bill landed in his mailbox? Instead of spiraling into panic, he'd take a deep breath and say, "I trust that resources are on their way." This wasn't blind optimism or ignoring reality. It was retraining his nervous system to feel secure in abundance before the evidence showed up. Over time, his subconscious stopped putting up a fight. His identity began to shift. He wasn't just James, the overworked lawyer grinding through life. He was James, the creator, collapsing new possibilities into form with every intentional thought and feeling. Let's anchor this in science to make it crystal clear. Quantum superposition tells us that all potential realities exist at once, like a deck of cards waiting to be drawn. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, is an act of observation that picks one card, one reality, and brings it into focus. When James woke up feeling, "I'm not enough," he was drawing that card, reinforcing that story. But when he chose gratitude, trust, or confidence, he picked a different one. This isn't woo-woo. It's quantum mechanics. Your thoughts send a signal out into the field. Your emotions pull the matching experience back to you. The field responds in real time, not next week or next year. So, when James walked into a courtroom feeling the confidence of future James before a big case, he wasn't just hoping, he was creating. Here's a trap James fell into early on, and you might recognize it. He used to think quantum creation was about saying the perfect affirmations or thinking the right thoughts, like a magic spell. But it's not intellectual. It's experiential. It's not about convincing the universe. It's about convincing your body that your new reality is already yours. For example, James noticed that repeating "I am successful" felt hollow when he was stressed about a deadline. So, he shifted to embodying success in small, tangible ways. He'd treat himself to a nice lunch and savor it like a victory. Walk into meetings with the posture of someone who knew he'd nail it. And thank the universe for small wins. A productive call, a clear mountain sunset, as if they were breadcrumbs leading to bigger things. These acts, small as they seemed, rewired his baseline vibration from scarcity to abundance, from waiting to receiving. This is where James's story becomes truly inspiring. About 3 months into his experiment, the changes started to snowball. A referral from a senior partner landed him a high-stakes case that boosted his reputation and his bank account. At the charity gala, he met a woman named Sarah, who shared his love for hiking and had a laugh that made him feel at home. Their first date, a trail walk in Boulder, turned into weekly adventures. Even his small apartment, once a source of frustration, started to feel like a sanctuary as he added personal touches, a bookshelf of favorite novels, a potted fern by the window. These weren't coincidences. They were the field mirroring his new state of being. As Neville Goddard said, "Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live." James wasn't chasing signs anymore. He was becoming the signal. Let's bring this home to you. Because James's story isn't just his, it's yours, too. You might be thinking, "That's great for James, but my life's different." Maybe you're not a lawyer in Denver. Maybe you're a mechanic in Atlanta dreaming of your own shop, a teacher in Portland longing for more impact, or a retiree in Miami craving purpose. Your dreams might look different: a new career, vibrant health, a soul-deep connection, but the process is universal. The quantum field doesn't play favorites. It responds to coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and body speak the same language, stop reacting to life as it is and start broadcasting life as it will be. Here's a practical tool to start today, straight from James's playbook. Every morning, carve out 5 minutes to live in the end. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and imagine yourself as the version of you who's already living your dream life. What do you feel when you wake up in that reality? How do you carry yourself through challenges? What do you believe is possible? Don't just think about it, feel it. Let gratitude, joy, or peace wash over you like a warm tide. If doubts creep in, don't wrestle them. Observe them like clouds drifting across a clear sky. Then return to your vision. This isn't about escaping your current reality. It's about coding a new one into your nervous system, one feeling at a time. Why does this work? Your body is your subconscious mind. When you feel the emotions of your future self, you're installing new neurological hardware, as Joe Dispenza puts it. You're telling your body, this is safe. This is who we are now, over time. Your default state shifts from fear to trust, from lack to wholeness. And when that happens, the field takes notice. Opportunities align. People show up. Timing clicks, not because you manipulated the outcome, but because you became the outcome. Let's dive deeper with a final insight. Something James learned through months of trial and error. Quantum creation isn't passive. It's participatory. You're not a victim of your past or a passenger in your life. You're a co-creator with the universe, collapsing waves of possibility into reality with every moment. Most people do this unconsciously, reacting to old patterns, fear, scarcity, doubt, and collapsing the same life again and again. But you can choose differently. You can observe with intention, feel with purpose, embody with clarity. For James, this meant healing his perception. He realized he'd been carrying stories that held him back. Success requires sacrifice. Relationships always fade. These weren't just thoughts, they were quantum selections, reinforcing a limited reality. So, he started interrupting them. When he felt unworthy, he'd pause and ask, what if I'm already enough? When he felt stuck, he'd whisper, what if this moment is leading me to something greater? These weren't just affirmations. They were invitations to see the world through new eyes. As his perception shifted, so did his reality. Clients respected him more. Conversations flowed easier. Opportunities multiplied. This is what Einstein meant when he said, the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. Your consciousness shapes the particles of your life, your experiences, your relationships, your reality. Ancient wisdom echoes this. Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of aligning with your dharma, your true essence. Modern science confirms it. Your observation collapses the wave. So, stop watching your life like a movie you didn't write. Start directing it like a creator who knows it's already theirs. Here's the quiet beauty of quantum creation. A moment James felt one crisp morning as he sipped his coffee on his balcony. The Denver skyline stretching before him. The air felt different, not because his bank account had doubled or his calendar was full, but because he had changed. A lightness settled in his chest, a clarity that didn't need applause or proof. He wasn't chasing anymore. He was allowing. This is the paradox. You manifest most when you stop trying to manifest. You receive most when you realize you were never lacking. You create effortlessly when you align with the version of you who already has it. If James's story resonates, it's because you're already on this path. You're not behind, not broken, not missing anything. You're becoming. So, take a moment now not to do more, but to feel deeper. Close your eyes and ask, who am I when I'm living my dream life? What do I feel when I wake up? What do I trust is possible? That version of you isn't out there, it's within, waiting for you to tune in. As Abraham Hicks says, the universe doesn't hear what you say, it responds to how you feel. So, feel it now. Feel the gratitude, the ease, the joy, not as a hope, but as a truth. This is the code of quantum creation. Become, receive. It's not a secret ritual or a perfect phrase. It's who you are when no one's watching. What you believe when you're alone with your thoughts. The field is always listening, ready to mirror your frequency. So, walk today as someone whose energy shifts timelines. Speak as someone who knows they're woven from stardust. Let your presence be your power. Your life is a waveform, infinite and alive with potential. Every thought, every emotion, is a measurement that collapses it into form. Choose wisely, choose boldly, choose you. If this story stirred something in you, if it sparked a quiet knowing or a flicker of hope, let the field know. Drop a comment below, I am becoming, because you are, and we're witnessing it together. Consider subscribing to join a community of creators, remembering who we truly are, one story at a time. The universe isn't testing you, it's mirroring you. And you're ready to shine.